Hey everyone, Hate Mail here. In this edition of WROL Broadcast, we are talking about some positive changes. With me, I have Kage. So, Kage, we got some pretty awesome news today.
Dude, it's like Christmas, huh?
It really is. And we also have some breaking news we'll talk about at the end of the episode regarding the siege that we're going to get next month, which has me super excited. But first, let's get through the elephant in the room, which is the Wonder Girl changes. What do you think of these changes, Kage?
Well, it's funny because if you would have asked me like about this maybe 6 months ago, I would have been totally livid. I would have been saying, "Dang, I can't trust the devs with my money. I invest so much in my characters only for them to get nerfed. I mean, what's going on? Why can't WB get this straight?" And 6 months of really stale and tasteless meta, and now I'm looking at the other side and I'm saying, "Look, we needed this change." And however small it is, I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of posts actually saying, not complaining that there was a nerf. Granted, there are a handful of people that are angry that they're a nerf and they're in the no nerf forever crowd, which is completely ridiculous. But the most of the complaints are they didn't feel like it was enough. And I like this approach by the devs because after Deathstroke, they really hit him a little too hard. Even I was very pro nerf on Baby Lobo, and I kind of thought Deathstroke probably needed something too, but they hit the nerf bat too hard, and it seems like when they do it too hard, there's no coming back. And this is the second time Wonder Girl's getting whacked, so they felt like the first time wasn't enough. This time, it's increasing the buff gate to 8, which I don't I think that change will allow some of the most annoying things. Like when you're facing Batgirl, there are going to be times where you can start the match and not immediately die. Like the team that you'd been running that had been pretty successful, that was the Steppenwolf lead, Red Robin, AW Lex, and Donna
Done it
Troy.
right.
Every
Yeah,
now and again, that team just won't work because you'll accidentally get too many buffs, and then Wonder Girl whips everything off, and then you can't kill Wonder Girl, and then you've lost the match. So there's
right.
going to be teams like that, and there's going to be some other teams that just would automatically die on turn one that can at least survive a turn long enough that you can deal with Wonder Girl. And on the other side of the coin, if you were very anti-nerf Wonder Girl, I don't think you're really going to notice much of a change. I mean, there's going to be a couple occasions where Power Girl's not going to get whipped and you're going to get upset by it. But if you're on the attacking side, but I don't think, I mean, you're going to use Atrocitus Wonder Girl. She's still going to punch the crap out of everything. So she's still going to be hands down the best character in the game. So you're not going to feel like you've wasted your money like you did with Deathstroke.
Right. And plus, if you think about the numbers, it's been documented that Wonder Girl can do like what, 30, 38K on a passive whip. That 15% just brings it down like 4K. And characters in this game max out like 30K. So instead of getting one shot into oblivion, you're getting severely crippled. So
Yeah, so I think it's a little better. At least your characters won't auto die. Um,
yeah,
I don't think that 15% is going to be very noticeable. It may be more noticeable for people rocking level 70s versus maxed out level 80 tunes. If your Wonder Girl's like L2 and you're level 70 or level 60, which I've seen some Gear 10 people being able to take out level 80 teams, you're probably still going to be able to get away with that. It's just going to be slightly harder, which if you have 6 characters and Wonder Girl is the reason you can get into top 100 every time, you're kind of gaming the system. So this probably isn't going to change that very much, but it might make it slightly harder for you. And I know people are like, herpaderp, I can use hard gun dead shot and one shotter. Yeah, he does that to every single mystic in the game who doesn't have crit immunity or death immunity. So that's really not a valid argument. Every character in the game can do that to the opposite affinity if they're charged up and can crit.
right. So just because you can kill them, that's not necessarily a counter. A counter is like when you can stop a mechanic like revive or, heal immunity. But
Yeah,
there's no mechanic that stops an AoE death attack.
Wonder Girl is still going to be 3 mystics in one, and she's still going to be the top mystic in the game. This is a minor change, and they may see that this still changed nothing with the new characters coming out, and she's still dominating. She's on 99% of teams, and they may feel like they have to do another thing. But I'd rather see them take this slow approach so that characters aren't nerfed into oblivion. I think that's a better approach. So I'm for this change. I hope it just adds to a little bit of diversity. I don't mind Wonder Girl still being a top character. I just want to see some variance in teams other than Wonder Girl plus Power Girl or Wonder Girl plus MJ, because you just see that over and over and over. And it gets so boring just using Red Robin plus a strong red to deal with her every single match.
Yeah. And on that topic, like, if you don't think she's overpowered, then why do you gun her for the first turn?
I love the argument that I see so many people say that, oh, well, Wonder Girl plus Atrocitus, Atrocitus is the problem. Wonder Girl plus Batgirl, Batgirl's the problem. So they name off like four teams in a row and say the other character is the problem, yet there's only one common theme amongst all those teams. It's Wonder Girl. But anyway, what is done is done. I guess next week we will see what the changes are. I'll post a couple two-man teams where I can still beat the same teams I could beat before, just so you can see that it wasn't that big of a nerf for the people that are upset by it. But I think it still will allow some variance. And while we're on that topic to transition, one of the rework characters coming up, Livewire, assuming she still keeps her 6 evasion up, means she doesn't die on turn 1. So you might actually see her on matches again. Because I saw a few people complaining that Livewire doesn't need a rework, but if you've been playing this game since Wonder Girl came out, Livewire hasn't seen any play. I can't remember the last time I've seen Livewire.
I can't remember Livewire since pre-Deathstroke, honestly. If she zaps Lobo randomly, the
Yeah,
match is over for you.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so you're right. So now I think she because she won't die on turn 1, and you can, if you'll have some time to deal with Wonder Girl, assuming you're not running other characters that push her buffs to 8 or above, you might actually see her get some play. So I'm actually happy for a rework for her. I'm not sure what they would do. She's probably gonna be one of those characters that just gets a minor tweak as opposed to a full-on rework, would be my guess. And I think she could use a little bump just because of the power creep. I think this Wonder Girl change will help her right out of the gate, assuming that's what they still keep her with that same 6 evasions ups. Which honestly, I'm actually a little concerned that at that point she might be on more Batgirl teams, which I'm kind of tired of those. But that's okay. If I can deal with those teams a little easier with the Wonder Girl change, then the Batgirl teams really won't be that annoying anymore.
Right. Now, I'm looking more forward to Katana. I've been having her sit in the back of my roster for the longest time. Everyone's been vouching for her to be like one of the top mystics, so we'll see if this tweak is enough to bump her into the meta.
Well, I've used Katana a fair amount. My problem is that when I took her L5 and I would kill somebody, she would use her buff and then she would get those 6 buffs.
Oh,
And that would often get me killed. So that buff gate, once again, this is another instance where if I'm not running, obviously you still can't go in with like a buff heavy team, but you weren't terrified to use a buff. And the other big under change that people aren't really thinking about that I think will make this more viable is that before, when you were running Donna Troy, she would only work at 6 buffs. So you could cross that threshold briefly. Wonder Girl would still nuke, but now Donna Troy will have a chance to get their buffs down to 6 more easily.
yeah. So Donna Troy can work as better counter. This actually helps Donna Troy more as well. You
Yeah,
can
Donna
hold
Troy
on to your
actually is a solid. Like before, she was an okay counter and she would work, but now I think with that little bit of leniency with the buffs, I think she'll be more viable as a true counter to Wonder Girl as opposed to a buddy for her.
yeah. So I'm really happy about that actually. Now that you brought that up.
So that was one thing I was really thinking about. And I think with characters like Katana and that don't go buff crazy, but they could skirt those buffs. Depending on if they keep Commune with the Fallen, because Commune with the Fallen now is gain 4 critical chance up and 1 evasion up for each dead enemy, which will put you to 5, which is still below it normally, but you almost always have 1 or 2 other buffs on your character.
Right. You could have like, I don't know, enrage immunity or invisibility. I don't know what you could have on her, but some random buff and then you get killed. Your team gets killed.
Yeah, so,
So
I think that will be a good thing. So I'm curious to see what they'll do with Katana. I don't feel like she's another one. She doesn't need a lot because she is a pretty solid character. Maybe some changes to her leadership potentially. Her leadership's good, but it's not great, or maybe it could do a little more. I'm
I'm
not
hoping
sure.
I'm hoping that she gains an increased chance of doing her commune with Fallen or something. I think it maxes out 40%, right? If she kills someone, um,
Well, she
maybe
gains a 15% true heal. So maybe they could do something with that.
yeah, something crazy. I don't know.
Or make her 3, her falling blade can't miss 2. I
Or
just hope they don't get rid of the can't miss on the basic, or I will be very upset because that's like the main reason you take her.
or give her bleeds.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not as crazy about bleeds, but I guess she wouldn't be a bad bleed character. I
Yeah,
want to see more energy characters with bleeds, personally.
yeah.
Then,
But anyway, so let's talk about the new characters. We have a green character who hopefully won't get nuked out the gate with Wonder Girl.
well,
Uh,
I think I'm sure the design team has to be taking that into mind, at least to a certain degree.
they didn't take Wally into mind. Rest in peace.
Well, yeah, that's true. But well, that's interesting. Wally. I've actually successfully. I'll actually because I don't have any other videos for this, obviously with any of the new stuff. So I will be running some Wally videos, and it's before I even took him Legendary 4. So, but I face a lot of Wonder Girl teams, and I actually do pretty decent with them. So
Okay. Well, then I'll take my words back.
yeah, I mean he still gets killed by her, but he's not he's not like auto death. So it's I he doesn't do a ton of buffs, and if you're running him, obviously if you're running him like Rod or something, you're going to get nuked into oblivion. But I found there's quite a few good teams that Doombox actually came up with that are pretty good. So, and I know I've
But
punched them a few places, but
they all revolve around the same teammates. So
yeah, but still, it does work, and it works against Wonder Girl. So at
okay.
first I
Well,
thought he wasn't the greatest, but I think from his description, Black Lightning is a healing energy character, which sounds pretty awesome.
so that's synergy with Starfire. Okay.
Yeah,
So I'm cool with it.
and Starfire can afford to get a few more buffs now, so that'd be. And she'll purge them usually probably before you get over, before you get to 8.
Yeah. Batwoman sounds really interesting, and from the looks of it, she looks like another support character who's going to put crit chance down, I would say, on the enemy. That's from her description.
Yeah, it says it minimizes critical damage output while buffing herself with strength ups and invisibility, following up with devastating gadget attacks. So it sounds like she can do good damage under certain conditions. So maybe she's similar to Batman where she gets invisibility, extra crit damage or extra damage on her with invisibility, and then she gets strength ups, and then she can put crit chance down, which if she's putting crit chance down on some of these strong like Power Girl, Wonder Girl characters that do tons of damage, that might help a lot.
So she'll have a friend in Penguin. Her and Penguin can spam teams to death with crit down, and you just roll over them.
And I do like on Black Lightning, he also purges buffs from enemies, so
He
that'd be.
purges?
Yeah, it says his shocks can also damage and purge buffs from enemies, healing his teammates for each buff purged. So that's pretty cool. So it doesn't sound like he's
What?
giving mends or buffs on your characters. It sounds like he's getting rid of buffs from characters to heal, which I
Huh.
actually really like because that means he's has no synergy with Wonder Girl.
All right.
So
Well,
maybe some new meta development will come around that.
here's the hoping, right? And so, want to get back to the main topic of the
Yeah, so we
shows?
were told some information that we were allowed to share for this podcast, which we were really excited about. So we found out that
Thank
there
you.
will be a siege next month, and some of the changes in that siege, I'm really excited about. The um, revenge will be 3. It will cost 3 instead of 2. So revenge won't be as. It will be useful, but won't be the. You won't want to revenge over doing an attack. So I really like that because I hate fielding a team that I want to get attacked. And even in the last siege, while it was significantly improved, it felt like it was really close to right. That +3 will make it perfect, in my opinion.
I'm more excited about the board clear.
And the board clear, what was it, buff 2, 25?
25 trophies.
That is awesome because before there was almost zero incentive to clear your board, and now you're going to want to clear your board every time because that's a lot of trophies. What was it before? 15? 10?
5.
Oh, it was only 5. Crap. Wow,
Yeah.
that is a huge increase. I don't know why I was thinking it was 15. I think
So
that's
you'd
what
be
I
like,
wanted it to be now that I think about it. So, yeah, so
yeah. I
sieges,
remember,
yeah, it's going to be awesome.
I remember thinking like I'd have 2 fights left on my board, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I can run one bonus tune and maybe get a few extra trophies, or I can refresh and just get more trophies, picking off easier fights. But now it's going to come down to, okay, even if I don't have bonus tunes to beat those 2 remaining fights on my list, I can clear for 25 trophies and it'll be a wash.
Well, and I think that, I mean, my favorite thing in this game is Siege. And I know some people don't feel the same way. But I think most of the end game players, people that have completely maxed out rosters, hate the Wraith PvP system, which we won't even get into the point system because everybody knows my opinion on that. But honestly, I don't even care about Wraith. If Siege, and I hope this, because it seems this came back faster than the last time, so I'm hoping that maybe it's every other month, or even better, if it was every month, I'd be thrilled. Um, because Siege is the only real PvP in my mind. With yes, with energy purchases and everything, there's a paywall component to it. But if all the spenders are buying it every day, it is the closest thing to real PvP in the game. So, and honestly, like even when I play games like Call of Duty or Overwatch, I only play the PvP modes. I never play the PvE modes, so I don't even care as much about not getting new PvE content because I play this game for PvP. Now I know everyone wants more new content. I want new content too, just to have something else to do. But Siege fills a huge void in my mind, and now that they've made the Sport Clear change and the Revenge change, I don't think it could get much better as long as like one of the bonus tunes isn't Wonder Girl or Harley Quinn Mad Jester.
Yeah.
That would be the only thing that could ruin that for me, but
The last Siege, I don't know, man. Mare gets hit with an AoE and your whole team gets buffed and you get killed.
yeah, I mean, I got annoyed with like the bonus tunes and stuff, but honestly, I still had a lot of fun during it. A lot of
Yeah.
fun. I just skipped the Batgirl teams because they were annoying. But now, and granted, with the new board cleared, you're gonna want to face those teams, and you're gonna get really mad if there's no bonus tunes that help deal with the Batgirl meta teams, because some people are still gonna run those just because that's the best way to win, and then it may
Yeah.
not have the bonus tunes geared out, which is fine. I mean, that's gonna come with it. But if they do some diversity with the bonus tunes, it's going to be awesome. So
Yeah.
I think even if they don't, it's still going to be really good.
Yeah. I'm really excited for Siege. And yeah, I mean, oh, you know what? I was really hoping for a change in the rewards. We've had Legendary Essence for like the millionth time. I was hoping for rings or XP mats, but I'll take what I can get. These are good changes, and I'm hoping the dev team listens to this and notices the player shortages in XP or rings.
I really wanted one of the other things, but I'm really low on Legendary Essence, and it costs so much to farm it. I'm actually not that upset by it, to be honest with you, because I still need the Legendary 5 Roy, I need the Legendary 5, and I've taken every character to Legendary 5, so those are the only two I don't have, but I'm thinking about the future costs, 2 new characters coming out, that's 400,000 LE. That's going to save me quite a bit of gems, even if I have to buy every day.
But that still costs you a lot of gems to refresh the ring events anyway.
That's what I mean. It's going to cost me a lot of gems to. Well, yeah, I guess you guys have a point. I mean, I don't care either way. I'm just happy Siege is here.
Well, it's free stuff. I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah, Legendary Essence is still good. I still need it, and I'll stock it for a little while. So.
All right. Well, Stanner, thank you for listening. Thanks for the devs for finally adjusting Wonder Girl. Let's see how the game goes from this point on.
Yeah, I have to say they do. A lot of people, complain that they don't listen, but this is proof. They listened about Wonder Girl. They didn't go overboard. They made it a mild nerf, which I think is the right direction to go. And then they also listened to the changes on Siege, because a lot of these changes were exactly what everybody was hoping would change. So yeah, good job. Good job by them.
Yeah. You got anything else to say, man?
Nope, that's it. Thank you, everybody. We're going to get this out tonight, so I got to get to work.
All right. See you, man.
All right,
Thank you for tuning in to this edition of WROL Broadcasts, a subsidiary of the Oddsman and We Are Legends. To view additional content and support the show, please go to patreon.com/WROL Broadcasts.